talk about Jack Eichel and what happened recently with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a huge one, really, to lead off. It's probably this week has had a lot of big news, especially a lot of it coming out recently. But like starting off with this, obviously, this was the big talking point for most of the season, right? Like, people wanted this to be done and dusted with like a long time ago.
Yep.
How long have we been discussing this Eichel trade for? Since before the summer, at
I
least.
think
Like
before
last
the
season.
playoffs, I think once they realize, yeah, this is just a failing franchise. Maybe even since Taylor Hall was gone, since that trade,
Yeah,
since he
exactly.
was
Like round
injured,
trade
because he
deadline.
missed that. He missed. I don't know when he missed out, but I'm sure it was before a few months, maybe a month and a half before trade deadline.
Yeah, exactly. Point is, it's like discussions about this have been going on a long time. There's always been like this team is in, this team is out, and whatnot. And then finally, it happened, and the trade, as we know it, is Jack Eichel and a conditional third from
Yeah.
2023 going from Buffalo to the Vegas Golden Knights for Alex Tuck, Peyton Krebs, a 2022 conditional first, and a 2023 conditional second, going from Vegas to Buffalo.
If you're a Buffalo fan, is this a W?
I would say they got a good haul for what they were trading away. Of course, they didn't hold much leverage in this situation. I mean, the player, it was very clear he wanted out.
Yep. His
There was
injury
obviously the
was
whole,
was
yeah, the injury and the surgery, how he wanted to do a
yep.
certain procedure. The team wouldn't allow him to do it. And then obviously they had to find a team that would like approve of that procedure to be done on him. So obviously, like I said, in this case, Buffalo didn't really hold much leverage. The same thing when you look at last year with the Taylor Hall trade. Like they got what it was like
It was
Anders
two
Bjork and like a
seconds.
second round, yeah, like
I
a
think it
second
was
round
two
pick, like
seconds.
Curtis Lazar. Like I mean, there wasn't much in
No.
that trade. Basically, is what we're saying. Whereas this one, yeah, if I'm a Buffalo fan, I mean, hey, Alex Tuck, who is on the third line in Vegas, which for Buffalo should be a top six, very solid, hardworking player. He's done great for them in the playoffs, so you know he's going to show up in big moments. He's a guy that like you like to have on your team. He's a very skilled, very big, very strong, great skater. He's got all the tools necessary to be on a winning team, and like I could really see him if Buffalo like does everything correctly. I could see him being a very important part of that team going forward. Peyton Krebs, him being another guy, very young. I want to say this is rookie season,
It
so
is. It is. Yep.
yeah, he's looked really good. Obviously
Not
he has
really.
like
The stats have shown he's shown promise in the WHL, but that's one thing that I think he hasn't like doubled his points. He's been point per game a bit more, maybe 1.25, 1.5 in the WHL, but he might be rushed into position.
yeah,
In Vegas, he had 0 points in 9 games.
yeah. I
So
mean,
he wasn't performing as expected. So I don't know if this guy is a blue chip guy. He's not. I don't believe he's an elite medium. If we're talking NHL, EA Sports, challenged by everything. Um, if we're talking about those standards there, I would say he's a top six max medium. Elite
yeah. I
maybe, but
mean,
I think it'd be medium until he can prove himself as he needs a stint in the AHL. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the stint in the AHL. Just
no,
chuck
of
him
course
down.
not.
Maybe in Buffalo, a change of scenery might be the right thing for him. But
Well, yeah, he's already played one game for the Rochester Americans.
there you
Didn't
go.
put up any points, but again, it's one game.
He
Um,
needs to be there. He needs to develop,
yeah,
get more ice time. I'm sure this is like the first time he's actually put out 20 minutes in a game ever since
yeah,
Vegas. Vegas,
that's
he was
very
probably
true.
playing
And
12 or 10 minutes. I'm sure
yeah,
not
which
very high of a role.
yeah, how are you going to develop a young player when he's only out there for like what? Not even a third of the game, not even like
Yeah.
barely even a sixth of a game.
No reason to burn a rookie season like that, and guy can develop. Alex Tuck, as you were saying, great top six potential. He has a great contract. I think he has 6 more years on that deal. After this year, at $4.6 million, around that.
Well, he's got 4 years left after this year.
Oh, okay. My bad.
At
When he signed, it was a 7 year deal. My bad. Okay.
yes, yeah, you're
Okay.
correct.
So there's five more years after this.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's still got tons of
Yeah.
time with him. Again, even
Great
him, like
deal. It's a great deal for
he's only
him.
25.
Yeah.
That deal
No,
ends when he's 30. Like
I
you get him
feel
for his best years.
I feel like they should have had more. I think that there's a first missing in there. I think there's another first that should have been on this. A conditional, at least.
Going where to Buffalo?
To Buffalo, yes. I think there definitely needed to be another pick going to Buffalo. Uh,
Mm,
if say for example Jack Eichel gets injured for the next year and it is due to one of the injuries he had in Buffalo or something like that. I don't know. He would have a grace window or something like that. So then that second year first round pick, okay, if he's injured after this year, then that pick is not a first, then it goes to a second, you know?
right.
So like that condition should be put in, especially with his history of injury. Like I know like it's now, let's take care of it, but I think that additional first, I feel Tuck is a top 6 right now. We're not going to see him develop more. I don't think so. I think he's going to stay
No, yeah, you're right. He
about.
is what he is.
I think it maybe 30 goal scorer eventually, a power forward that big. He's got a shot and he can put up 60 points. I believe I could see it happen. 50 point is more his range. But nonetheless, Krebs, I don't know if he's got 60 point potential. We're talking about Jack Eichel here, who came second to Connor McDavid. But if he was in his own draft and we were going to rerun it and got rid of Connor McDavid, put him in another year, right? Jack Eichel would still be number one. He would
100%.
He would be. He's a franchise player for any team. It just needs to be proven with his injury whether or not he can actually do it on a proper team with proper players around him. And we'll get into Vegas actually in this coming segment here.